He grinned when he said the words. Pack up.
You've got 60 seconds to clear out.
The boardroom froze.
Not a breath stirred as the executives shifted uneasily in their padded leather chairs. My CEO leaned back, his chin tilted with smug certainty, the expression of a man convinced he had already won. I didn't blink, didn't argue, didn't beg. Instead, I met his eyes and whispered, "Appreciate it." Then I closed my laptop, rose from my chair, and walked to the door.
Behind me, the silence cracked.
Chairs scraped the polished floor. One after another, 12 engineers, the company's backbone, stood and followed without a single word. They moved like shadows, leaving him alone in that sterile glass room, drowning in his own arrogance. I heard his laugh echo after me, sharp and dismissive.
He thought he had humiliated me. He believed it was over. But he couldn't have been more wrong.
When I first met him, he was magnetic, charming enough to sell fire to the sun.
I trusted him when he said we'd build something revolutionary. I believed him when he called me his right hand.
For years, I poured everything into his vision. My ideas, my loyalty, my teams. I defended him in meetings, covered his mistakes, and pushed forward when no one else would. But power corrupts, and he was intoxicated by it. At first, the warning signs were small.
Deals I wasn't copied on. Budgets shifted without reason. My proposals showing up under his name. Then came the betrayal I couldn't ignore, a leaked email. In it, he promised investors a streamlined future that didn't include me. A presentation where my photo had been erased and my role conveniently deleted. That was when my loyalty ended. I didn't confront him. I didn't explode. I smiled in meetings, nodded along, and let him believe he'd broken me. Silence is dangerous. It makes men like him underestimate you. Meanwhile, I planned. Every late night and quiet weekend, I built my escape, not as a retreat, but as a strike. I gathered contracts. I collected resignation letters pre-signed by engineers who trusted me, not him. I secured copies of patents under my name. I compiled shareholder reports outlining his shady dealings. And then, I waited. So when he publicly fired me, he thought he had sprung a trap. In reality, he had just walked into mine. The 12 engineers didn't leave on impulse. I had secured their loyalty months earlier through quiet conversations, promises of a healthier workplace, a better future. By the time he realized half his technical strength had walked out the door, my new company was already on paper. Investors, ones he believed were loyal to him, had signed with me. The architecture, the roadmap, the very heart of the product was in my possession. Later, I heard what happened after I left. At first, he mocked the empty seats, telling the room, "Good riddance." But arrogance doesn't last. The legal director opened the folder I'd had delivered the same minute I walked out. Inside were employment contracts, patent filings, and a signed whistleblower complaint. Her face drained of color. She turned to him and spoke the words that cut deeper than any insult. "Get a lawyer. Now." That was when it hit him. He hadn't gotten rid of me. He had freed me. And in doing so, he had doomed himself. I didn't need to witness the fallout to know how it played out. Share prices collapsing, investors fleeing, lawsuits stacking higher than corpses. I had stripped him of everything he thought was untouchable: loyalty, innovation, credibility. When I walked out of that building, I wasn't disgraced. I left with my head high, 12 engineers by my side, and a future built on our terms, not his. People say revenge is best served cold. I disagree. It's best served with patience. When he gave me 1 minute, he thought he was ending me. In truth, he was ending himself. And I'll never forget the sound that marked the death of his empire, 12 chairs scraping back in unison. I didn't scream. I didn't argue. I didn't throw a fit. I just said, "Thank you." Because in that moment, I wasn't dismissed. I was crowned.